Today, in the chapter Carbon and its Compounds, I will teach you homologous series and allotropes of carbon. Homologous series. Children, homologous series is a series or family of organic compounds in which all the members have a common general formula, same functional group, and any two successive members in a particular series differ in their molecular formula by CH2 group, or we can say by 14 U of mass. For example, if you check the alkane series, here methane, ethane, propane, butane, the difference between methane and ethane, there is a difference of one carbon atom and two hydrogen atoms. That means the group is CH2 group. Likewise, between ethane and propane, again you can check here, ethane formula C2H6, propane C3H8. That means the difference between the two is 1 unit of carbon atom and 2 units of hydrogen atoms. And the mass, carbon, 1 unit of carbon has 12U and 1 unit of hydrogen has 1U. For 2 unit 2. So total mass difference is 12 plus 2, 14U of mass. That means in a homologous series between any two consecutive member there is a difference of CH2 group and 14U of mass. Characteristics of homologous series. Children, all the members of a homologous series can be represented by the same general formula. For example, alkane series, which already have learned, CnH2n plus 2, alkene CnH2n, and alkyne CnH2n minus 2. Second point, any two adjacent homology differ by one carbon atom and two hydrogen atoms in their molecular formulae. That is, any two adjacent homology differ by CH2 group. Third, the difference in the molecular masses of any two adjacent homologies is of 14 U of mass. Next point, all the compounds of a homologous series show similar chemical properties, whereas the members of a homologous series show a gradual change in their physical properties with the increase in molecular masses. That means, children, the physical properties of a homologous series member gradually changes, whereas all the members of a particular series have same chemical properties. Allotropes of carbon. Children, carbon exhibits two allotropic form, crystalline form and amorphous form. In crystalline form, the atoms or molecules are arranged in a particular order or in a particular pattern, whereas in amorphous form, the atoms, ions or molecules are not arranged in a particular order or pattern. For standard 10 level, you have to learn the two crystalline form of carbon, that is diamond and graphite. Other than diamond and graphite, it has one more form, that is the Buckminster Fullerenes. Under the amorphous form, the carbon can exist as a coal, charcoal, coke, animal charcoal, etc. Now, let us discuss about the first crystalline form of carbon, that is diamond. Structure of diamond. In the structure of diamond, you can see that each carbon atom, if you take the central carbon atom, it is bonded with other four, 1, 2, 3, 4, four other carbon atoms by carbon-carbon strong covalent bond. And this structure lead to the or result to the three-dimensional network. And as children, each carbon atom is bonding with the other carbon atom, and here it is a strong bond. The diamond is one of the hardest known substance. At the same time, all the four valencies of the carbon are get bonded. There is no more free electron. As there is no free electron, diamond is bad conductor of electricity. Next crystalline form of carbon is graphite. Let us discuss about the structure of graphite. In graphite, each carbon atom is linked to three other carbon atoms by covalent bonds, resulting in hexagonal ring which are arranged in layers. In the diagram, you can see here, consider this carbon atom. This carbon atom, it is bonded with 1, 2 and 3 carbon atoms. If you take another carbon atom, this carbon atom, again you can see it is bonded with 1, 2 and 3 carbon atoms. So in this way, if you check any carbon atom that is bonded with 1, 2 and 3 more carbon atoms. And because of this arrangement, that means bonding of one carbon atoms with other 3 carbon atoms, it leads to the hexagonal ring structure. Now one ring is linked with other with third, second with third and so on. It will form a hexagonal layer. It is one hexagonal layer. Okay. Now one hexagonal layer, it is bonded with, or we can say held with other layer. This is one layer of graphite, this is second layer of graphite. These two layers of graphite are held together by a very weak force, and this very weak force is known as van der Waals forces of attraction. Okay, now because of this weak force, graphite, it is soft and slippery. Is it clear, children? Because of this weak force, graphite, it is soft and slippery. At the same time, you can see here each carbon atom, as this carbon atom bonded with 3, one electron remain free in this carbon atom. If you consider this carbon atom, 3 electrons are bonded, 1 electron is remain free. So you can find in this hexagonal layer, each carbon atom has one free electron. And because of this free electron, graphite is good conductor of electricity. So first point, because of this weak van der Waals force of attraction between the two layers, graphite is soft and slippery. At the same time, because of free electron, graphite is good conductor of electricity. Now third point, because of this strong covalent bond between the carbon atoms in a ring, graphite has high melting and boiling point. Differences between diamond and graphite. Diamond, children, you know very well, in diamond, strong three-dimensional network are formed due to the presence of covalent bonds. And because of this strong covalent bond, diamond is one of the hardest known substance. That means diamond is hard in nature. Whereas in graphite, each carbon atom is linked to 3 other carbon atoms by covalent bonds, resulting in hexagonal rings which are arranged in layers. And these layers are held together by weak van der Waals forces of attraction. And because of these weak van der Waals forces of attraction, graphite, it is soft in nature. So the first point are different. Diamond is hard, graphite is soft based on the structures. Second, since molecules are closely packed in diamond, they have high density. That means diamond is have high density. Whereas in case of graphite, because of the large gaps between the molecules, that means between the two layers, they have low density. Next, since there is no free electrons in any carbon atom, the diamond does not conduct electricity. That means all four valencies are well bonded. There is no free electrons, and because of no free electron, diamond is bad conductor. Whereas in graphite, presence of one free electron in each carbon atom, as one carbon atom bonded with three more carbon atoms to form a hexagonal ring, and hence each carbon atom has one electron free, and because of this free electron, graphite, it can conduct electricity.